Hey peeps, it's Tripl-L, and today I'm here to talk to you about Fairy Tail Chapter 491. My thoughts and impressions in top moment style, because in all honesty this chapter had a lot to cover and there's a lot of things going on, and really it deserves top moments. So peeps, let's just get right into it. This chapter gave us quite a bit having to do with one character, and that I think is Eileen. Eileen's got her characterization. It's a very striking moment because she does something I think is unnecessarily cruel, something that really runs counter to how she's been portrayed up till now. But it makes sense that this is where she would have that point of contention, especially since she has that relationship with Urza, and it kind of gets further elaborated on in this chapter. So let's just get right down into it. First top moment is Zaraz Confirmation that Gajil's alive. And the reason I'm not super excited about this one is, well, the explanation was kinda, a bit funky. Because it's just, I knew he was gonna come back. I knew Gajil was not out of the game. It's just, it actually makes sense. When Zara explains that, I could totally see Gajil being halfway to the underworld when Eileen's magic kicks in and kind of disrupts the process. Eileen's established as a strong enough character that she could mess with it if Gajil wasn't fully in the underworld. But just knowing that he just got saved by luck, just the sheer circumstance, and it's just because Gajil was gone for a long enough time, I feel. I think he was gone for the whole duration of the Eileen versus Acnologia fight. I would have thought that would have been enough to drag him to the underworld, but I guess the road to the underworld's pretty long enough for Eileen to muck with it. But overall, I am happy Gajil's back. It's just I feel that was too easy. I feel it was just, and it's kind of elaborated in the next moment when Gajil realizes he said something he can't take back. It's just funny because Gajil also thought he was out of the game. Gajil thought he was gone for just like that, and it's just having him come back so easily. I think we could have had a bit more of suspense, but a lot of this feeling I have has to do with Zara's explanation, and that's the next moment when Zara explains how she was able to return to the world, and ultimately her returning to the world, I was gonna say it was due to Mavis being groggy. She just woke up and maybe Mavis's mind wasn't working. But then I was reading the dialogue again and I saw what Zara was saying, and she said that it was all in a brief moment. So actually, if you go back to the last chapter, because I had to go back to the last chapter because when I was thinking it was just because Mavis isn't thinking properly, I thought, well, there's no way Mavis should be cognizant enough to know where she is right now. She shouldn't know who Zeref is if she has serious questions as to whether or not Zara is actually a person, right? So I went back to the chapter and I think I understand what happened. In the last chapter we had a little flashback scene to the whole issue with Zara saying that she's going to be with Mavis and that, it's not the end or something along those lines. And then right after that is when we get Mavis breaking out of her crystal. So I think it's actually that moment. The moment that she's playing through those memories and they don't fully finish before she breaks out of the crystal. So that moment happens and it establishes, and as Gajil kind of makes Zara simplify, it's because of Mavis waking up in that moment. And so because she kind of left off in that one moment in that last chapter, I guess till Mavis run through her head every memory that happened, and again just commits to herself that Zara is actually, their names are really similar. Anyway, that Zara is actually dead. I guess Zara is going to be around for a while. But overall, that explanation is very convenient, and just everything happening is very convenient, but that's kind of how Fairy Tail rolls, so I'm not too upset. I'm glad that he put the clue in the previous chapter. Having that flashback sequence at the beginning of the previous chapter does help me buy what Zara is saying. The next moment I really enjoyed was when Zara realized Gajil can see her, because as Zara noted, it means that Mavis's power is a lot stronger. And I'm really wondering what is Zara? Is she a ghost or is she really just a really smart illusion? Right? Because how self-aware is she? is what I'm asking, right? Like, I'm pretty sure we left Fairy Tale Zero with the idea that she's an illusion, right? A creation from Mavis's subconscious. So there's no way she, right? How self-aware is she? Anyway, Zehra's always been a bit of a question mark, and having her come back is just causing more of a question. Moving on, let's go to the next. We transition to the next group. The next big moment that I really liked was Natsu's group being near Erza's and Eileen's. Okay, we can all see this is effectively just there to establish the Eileen plot point. And moving into Eileen, the moment where we see Eileen's cruelty, where she turns Asui, is that her name? The princess, into a mouse. You know, that was really unnecessary. That was a pretty jarring moment, I think. Eileen's characterization in that moment where she's talking about can you still love her like that was just really out of nowhere, and it really does go to show she's got some drama when it comes to her kid. Because if she's saying that to the good old king, I think she has some kind of guilt, and she kind of wants to see the king compromise in a way she compromised. I think that's what's going on. She wasn't strong enough to love her child for whatever reason, and I think she's taking that out on the poor king. And that's my next favorite moment. It's actually the king and his daughter. You know, the moment was extremely forced. I don't think it had to happen except to demonstrate that Eileen has some serious issues with her kid. But seeing the king crying over the poor mouse girl and him saying that he's going to try and bring her back at all costs, and it's just because he's so weak and because he's so feeble, because he's so pathetic, it's a really powerful moment, and I really enjoyed it. Really, probably like one of the standout moments in this chapter. It happened really quickly. It was all very rushed, but I liked it. Actually, this chapter was very rushed too. That's something about this chapter. Anyway, the next moment I really enjoyed was Eileen's clairvoyance. I think it's funny that mother and daughter have special eyes, and seeing that giant eye open up in the sky, you know, it really just kind of, how do I say this? It just quickens everything. We don't have to go through chapters and chapters of Eileen trying to find out about Erza. But what's odd is that Eileen was able to sense that Erza was there. Now, I'm not sure what that says about Erza. Is Erza like so powerful that her mother is scared of her? Like, that'd be crazy, right? But we've seen Erza do some pretty ridiculous things because she's Erza. And even recently with what's his name? Man, I'm forgetting everyone's names. Anyway, the guy that had the Historia thing. Nineheart, there we go. When we saw him, he recognized Erza's magic power. So if Erza has a very distinctive magic power, I could see Eileen being able to sense it. But that's pretty interesting. I want to see what Eileen's going to do about her kid being right there. Anyway, the next moment I really enjoyed is when we transitioned over to Makarov's group, and we get to see the lesser members doing something. You know, they're strong in their own right, and it's nice to see them do something useful for the rest of the guild. And then we had the reintroduction of Eileen's girls, and actually I don't particularly like them. I think they're kind of annoying. But what I do enjoy out of their whole introduction again was Eileen's girls pointing out that Mira Jane is there and she's super strong. Because I want to see Mira Jane kick butt. I really want to see her just shut these two little girls up. Because, I don't know, something about them just annoys me. It's one of those characters. And finally, my favorite moment, or not favorite moment, but another top moment, was Zehra calling out to all the Fairy Tale members. Actually, you know what? That might have been my favorite moment. Because it was a really rousing speech as she was giving. And, you know, she was talking about how Mavis is a mother-like figure for all of them. And to really hurry it up and go back to her. She needs the help. And that was such a surprise that Zehra would be able to do that. She must be communicating through the guild marks. So, I'm really happy to see that. It was a really powerful moment. And it really just shows how strong Mavis is. I'm really excited to see who gets to Zehra first. And I'm kind of excited to see how Eileen's going to do whatever she's going to do. So, Beeps, that's pretty much it for me in terms of moments that I really enjoyed in this chapter. Tell me what you think about this chapter in general, and tell me what you think about the way I presented this video, because I'm trying new things. I've got stuff playing in the background just to keep your eyes entertained, but I'll really need to know if it's something that I should keep or if I should just go back to talking. I mean, these videos are just me talking and just They're here for you to listen and tell me what you think. Anyway, peeps, that's pretty much it for me. I've got nothing more to say about this matter. It was a good chapter. I liked it. I don't think I really liked it because it was rushed. It was rushed, and like some of the explanations took a bit for me to actually buy them. I can't fault it on that. If I had better memory, it would have been fine. But actually, the chapter does feel kind of rushed. So I'm gonna have to leave it at that. Yeah, peeps, tell me what you think about this chapter. I liked it. Well, till next time. Have a good day.